Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, Nick Collier here again, and I have had a couple of comments that say, hey, what happened to the machine work? And I swear, I haven't had, in the last 3 or 4 months, I haven't had one decent, interesting machine job. You know, I've kind of put a couple threads on it, something, and done these little piddly ass jobs, but nothing real interesting in the machine shop. Now, we've been doing gates and fences like nobody's business, but you know, I hate gates and fences, and I like being in my shop and doing stuff from here. Gates and fences, yeah, you got to go out and install the damn thing. But anyhow, so that's why there hasn't been a whole lot of real interesting jobs coming through here. Hey, you got an interesting job? Contact me. My information's down below there, or maybe on the side. Anyhow, so we're at another review because that's all I got right now. But this one's a pretty cool one. Evolution sent me this saw, oh, I don't know, a couple of months ago, maybe 3 months at this point. I've used the heck out of this saw. I mean, my band saws are feeling lonely because I don't use them anymore. This is all I use. Even real thick stuff. The other day I cut a piece of 2-inch solid bar just straight through. I have yet to change the blade, and as I said, I use it all the time. Probably use it 5-6 times a day, and sometimes a lot more. We had a fence job that we just finished here a while back, and I must have used this, you know, 50 times a day for a week. And the blade is still fairly sharp. I mean, it's starting to flag a little bit, but you know, I'm really surprised. Anyhow, I'm just super happy with this saw. This is like the best thing. You know, had I known it was as good as it is, I would have spent the $800 and something for the saw. As it is, I bought that DeWalt saw for $500. And it is a piece of junk. Okay, it's not a piece of junk, it does the job. And we take that out on the road because it's much lighter. This is a pretty heavy saw. About, oh, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, Evolution contacted me and said, hey, how's that saw going? And I said, yeah, I really like it. And they said, well, hey, would you like some extra blades? And I'm thinking, Jesus, you know, these blades are $120 a piece. I said, sure. So they sent me 4 or 5 blades, I can't remember. 4 blades to test out. Now these blades are all different kinds. Let's come in close and we'll see what we got. Oh, yeah, the other thing is I've had a couple of questions about, hey, how come they giving away stuff? Well, there's a couple of stories out there, and I'm not sure which one is true, but they're all kind of the same. And the story is that China's economy is flagging a bit, and so the Chinese government decided to make an offer to the businesses to buy them if they sent them out for free in America. And I think it's pretty wise investment, and I'm going to have to answer that phone. Well, it's Saturday, and I got a customer coming over to pick up a project, and so I'm answering the phone, but I swear, these days I get 30 robocalls every day. I mean, we've taken it to the point to where I just have the answer machine kicking in on the first ring, and the robocalls go away. They don't go away. They keep coming, but they hang up right away. So anyhow, so the Chinese government decided to offer this to their businesses, and so the businesses contacted, and you've seen it on YouTube. You know, the bunch of guys are, you know, reviewing one product, and I think it's a really good idea, especially since I get this for free. So, hey, let's get down to business here. Enough messing around. So, not knowing that Evolution had a series of blades to do different jobs, I just been using this same blade for, as I said, 3 months now or so, and for everything. I mean, everything. Aluminum, brass, copper, heavy steel, cast iron, you know, the whole gambit. Now, as they sent these things to me, I'm thinking, wow, okay, so these have some sort of different geometry to the blade. This is for thin steel, which is, that's interesting. The next one, what is the next one? Is for stainless steel. And that, again, interesting. Again, I've been using this one blade for a bunch of stainless over the last period of time. And it probably has worn the blade out beyond recognition, but that damn blade just keeps cutting. And I have no chipped teeth. And although it's fairly dull, but it just keeps cutting. The third blade is for aluminum, and I don't know what the difference is. The teeth look all the same, but whatever. And then this one is just, you know, the blade I have on here for plain steel. And so we've got the blade on here. I've already reviewed that because I reviewed the saw a couple of months ago, so we're not going to mess with this blade. So we are going to mess with the aluminum blade for the moment. Now, I'm just going to cut aluminum with this blade and see how it comes out. Just to see if there's a difference. Now, I love these holders. It's like if it's too tall or needs to be moved back and forth. So I just loosen these guys here. And push them down. There we go. They pretty much thought of everything, including the little sign that says, "Don't do it by hand." Okay, I won't, even though I have a number of times. And you could bring both of them over, but I don't really see the need. Let me get you more centered here. Okay, let me get headphones on. Turn your volume down or plug your ears. This thing is noisy. I guess we better plug it in, hadn't we? Okay, we ready? Straight as an arrow. Well, it's got a little bit of a, no, it doesn't. Just a little kink right there when it began. And I think that's because this blade is dull. So they've supplied me with Allen wrench that lives right in this little back hole here. And we're going to pop the, let's come up to here. We're going to pop the blade out. There's a little button up here. All right. Okay, we got a couple of chipped teeth there. There's one there, one there. And that could have been one of those times that the blade caught. Here's a chipped tooth here. But as I said, this thing is still cutting. I mean, yesterday I cut a bunch of steel with it. So we'll put this aside. Let's get the aluminum blade out. Now I like they have it in this nice reusable package so you can put it back away when you're done with it. There it is. It looks like they got it taped down, so that's not the best of the best. We don't really need that, but we definitely want this. Yeah, the blades are made in Japan. I'm assuming the saw is made in Japan too, which is interesting. Maybe Japan decided, hey, the Chinese are doing this, let's get on the bandwagon. Okay, close that up. Put our washer back on. Bolt back in. Snug that down. All right, let's get you down. Now let's see how a brand new blade acts. Headphones. Ready? Huh. Oh, the pin. Now I was pushing hard on that. That is one clean cut. I'll bet if I didn't push as hard, it would cut even cleaner. So that's good for a piece of bar stock. Let's see if we can find something thin. All right, so 1/4 inch. Let's bring that in and lift this up a little bit. And since this is so short, I'm going to bring a second one in just to be a little bit safer. Oops, let's get that out of the way. All right, so we're going to cut about 1/8 of an inch off of that. You with me? Yep, you are. Ready? Well, it did pretty good. Let's see what our face looks like. Yeah, and it looks like it's square as square can be. Oh, by the way, you probably have already seen this, but this saw rotates instead of like the other saws where you have to unbolt it and mess with the thing. This just has, it's just like a regular wood saw, wood chop saw. Okay, so that's aluminum. Oh, let's try something really thin. How about something like that? 1/8 inch. Weird angle, and they they're pretty much thought of everything. This can come over. Let's see, we'll cut from this side. This plugs in, drops down, and cinches down on the whole thing. Okay, ready? I don't know, could you ask for more? All right. Let's really get some thin metal in there and see what happens. I'm not sure I have any. Okay, well that's about as thin as I've got. We'll be back. Well, I had a hard time finding a piece of stainless that I could cut. So we found this this piece of tubing. Now the blade says, or the package says 304 only. And so I magnetized this to see if it was going to handle 304. I mean, if it was 304. And the way you tell is there's just a slight bit of when you put a magnet on it. And sure enough, that was it. So we're going to go for this and see what we come up with. I guess we better move it so that it can cut something. in that general area. Okay, I could have cut a lot faster, but I was taking my time because this thing is so short and, in a sense, dangerous. But, cut it beautifully. Here's our little ring. Can't ask for better than that. A little deburring and we'll be all set. So that's with the stainless blade, which is the yellow one. Can you see that? Let's bring you over so you can. There it is. The stainless blade. And I don't have any other stainless to cut, so I can't cut very much. But we did get that one piece cut. So let's change the blade and go to something else. Okay, now we've got the thin cutting metal blade. The blade is not thinner, it's just cuts thinner material. Somehow maybe the angle is different or something like that. We're going to cut, this looks like 20 gauge. Slide those out of the way. Put that down. Whoop, we got to go from this side. Drop that in. Tighten it up. Nice and tight. Headphones on. Plug your ears. Well, that's about as thin as you can get. And it cut it pretty nice. It didn't grab or jump or anything like that. That's not a bad deal. All right, well, I think we've got all of our blades tested out. I'm happy with every one of them. I'm guessing that, you know, some of the blades can... oh, and by the way, I don't know if I ever showed you this part, but the saw moves back and forth, so, which is kind of cool. Most of the time I just leave it here because when I'm cutting, I'm never cutting anything really big. Well, hell's bells, we got 4 blades tested out and they all worked famously. And I'm one happy camper with this saw. This is Nick Collier, checking out.